मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्री कृष्ण। Let us read षष्ठ अनुवाक। असन्नेव स भवति असद्ब्रह्मेति वेद चेत् अस्ति ब्रह्मेति चेद्वेद सन्तमेनं ततो विदुरिति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य अथातोऽनुप्रश्नाः उता विद्वानमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चन गच्छति। आहो विद्वानमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चित् समश्नुताः सोकामयत बहुस्यां प्रजायेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा इदगं सर्वमसृजत इदं किञ्च तत्सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशत तदनुप्रविश्य सच्चत्यच्चाभवत् निरुक्तं चानिरुक्तं च निलयनं चानिलयनं च विज्ञानं चाविज्ञानं च सत्यं चानृतं च सत्यमभवत् यदिदं किञ्च तत्सत्यमित्याचक्षते तदप्येष श्लोको भवति। अथातोनु प्रश्नाः। When it is said that asanneva sa bhavati asad brahmeti veda ched asti brahmeti veda ched santamenam tato vidurati. This statement has created questions in the mind of the student. Athatonu prashnaha. Is there any possibility of presence or absence of this Brahman? And to reply this, it is said that no, he is present. Why? Because so kamayata, he desired. So unless somebody is present, how can he desire? And after that, what did he desire? Bahusyam prajayeti. So he became many by manifesting the unmanifest names and forms. And thereafter, having created everything, tat sruštva tadevanupravishata, he entered. Now this is the topic that we are studying. He entered. How can he enter? This is the question. So about 5-6 arguments we have seen. Then the last one, the teacher himself is telling on page 166, Jala Suryakadi Pratibimbavat Praveshaha Syat iti chet na. If you are trying to imagine that the entry of the Brahman in this creation is not possible from any point of view, so we can imagine that like the sun enters the water without entry, in this manner tadevanupravishata, the reality, the truth, the Brahman, the Atma entered this world after having created this world. Iti chet. Suppose you are thinking in this line, then it is wrong. Why? Aparichinnatvad amurtatvacha. Because the Brahman is aparichinna, it is not limited by any criterion, and amurtatvacha, it does not have any form. Because when a reflection is possible, परिच्छिन्नस्य मूर्तस्य अन्यस्य अन्यत्र प्रसाद स्वभावके जलादौ सूर्यकादि प्रतिबिंबोदयः स्यात् न तु आत्मनः. Whenever there is a reflection, what is required? First, परिच्छिन्नस्य, something with a limited object. Then मूर्तस्य, it must have a form. Then anyasya, this object must be different from the reflecting media. Anyatra, it must be at a distant place, and the reflecting media should be prasada swabhavake. The reflecting media should be clean, just like water. And then surya kadi pratibimbodayah syat. Then only there is a possibility of reflection. So whenever we talk of reflection of sun or any object in the reflecting media, these many factors are required. First, the reflecting media and the reflected object must be separate from each other. Both of them must be limited, parichinna. They must come in front of each other. The reflecting media should have the quality to reflect. And then pratibimba udayaha syat. Then there is a possibility. Natu atmanaha. But all these things do not apply to the self. Because amurtatvat. First, the self does not have any form. And because the self does not have any form, how can it find its reflection in the, in what? There is no reflecting medium. So, amurtatvat first. And akashadi karanasya atmanaha vyapakatvat. Like the object which is reflected in the mirror, it is not pervading the mirror. But in case of the self or the Brahman, it is the cause of even the space, and therefore there is nothing which is free from or devoid of this reality. And therefore there is no possibility of reflection of the self or the Brahman, just like the reflection in the water. So, first amurtatvat, second akashadi karanasya atmanaha vyapakatvat, and third tad viprakrishta desha pratibimba adhara vastu antara abhavacha. And there is no other place where the Brahman is not there. So if it is present everywhere, including the reflecting medium, if we can imagine something, then this is abhavat, this is not possible. And therefore pratibimbavat praveshaha na yuktaha. And therefore entry of this reality, the Brahman, in this world, tat sruštva tadevanupravishata. It is not possible like the sun entering the water in the form of reflection. This is also not possible. So, in this manner, when the student became sufficiently frustrated, he says, Evam tarhi naivasti pravesho. If this is so, then the Atma did not enter. You unnecessarily said he entered. Evam tarhi naivasti praveshaha nacha gati antaram upalabhamahe. And we cannot conclude anything else. Tadevanupravishyate iti shrutehe. So this Shruti Vakya, that having created, he entered the world, has no meaning. Because according to our Purva Mimamsa, Shrutischa naha atindriye vishaye vijnana utpatto nimittam. According to us, every Shruti Vakya, every statement of the scripture is meant to create some knowledge. Suppose it is said, take the water in the hand and then say the sankalpa. So now this statement creates some knowledge, so we can do something. Now this kind of statement, Tadevanu Pravishad, we have tried our best. And you also told that even like the sun entering the water in the form of the reflection, that is also not possible. Therefore this Shruti Vakya is meaningless. So Shrutischa naha atindriye vishaye vijnana utpatto nimittam nacha asmad vakyat yatnyavatam api vijnanam utpadyate. So asmad vakyat, from this sentence, all efforts are put forward. So yatnyavatam api, all those who are trying to learn, understand what this sentence means. So even they tried, na vijnanam utpadyate. There is no knowledge gained or knowledge created. And hanta tarhi anarthakatvad apohyam etad vakyam. Therefore, useless. Throw this sentence. Apohyam idam vakyam. Which vakyam? Tasruštva tadevanu pravishad iti. So he has now reached the level of frustration. That is how, when many a times we take the books and try to learn without the ability to study, only by knowing English or knowing Sanskrit, the Shastra knowledge does not take place. Because when we know a language, we are knowing only the various connection between the words and the sentences, not beyond that. But what is indicated through that, we have to have a complete picture of that particular subject. So, when thus the student has reached a level of frustration, and ultimately he says, hanta tarhi anarthakatvat apohyam etad vakyam tasruštva tadevanu pravishaditi. Let us discard this sentence because it is anarthakatvat, meaningless. No, don't do like this. Don't have an improved edition of Taittiriya Upanishad. Isn't it? There are no improved or not improved editions. Not a single word is allowed to be added or deleted. Therefore, if we are not able to understand, it is our weakness, it is our foolishness. It cannot be added. See, all that which is the result of the human mind, that is subject to change. But the Vedas, being apaurushaya, they have not been allowed to be modified by anybody, as they were studied by, say, Prahlada Dhruva in Satyayug, as they were studied by Bhagwan Ramachandra ji in Treta Yuga, as they were studied by Bhagwan Sri Krishna in Dwapara Yuga. The same Vedas with the same Swaras we are studying today in the Kali Yuga. There is not a single word added or changed, because the Vedas are apaurushaya, and therefore what we have to do, that we have to find out what could be the meaning. Don't get frustrated. So therefore, don't apohya etad vakyam, don't discard the sentence. What is the reason? Anyarthatvat. Because you are not able to understand the earth or the meaning of the sentence. That we know. Kimartham asthane charcha. Don't talk nonsense. This is the meaning. Kimartham asthane charcha. Asthane, in the wrong place, talking this kind of statement, wanting to study the scriptures and come to a conclusion, the scriptures are meaningless. This kind of talk should not be entertained. प्रकृतः हि अन्यः विवक्षितः अस्य वाक्यस्य अर्थः अस्ति स स्मर्तव्यः. Try to remember why this whole topic started. So प्रकृतः अन्य विवक्षितस्य वाक्यस्य अर्थः. So how we started, we told you in the beginning of this Valli, Brahmananda Valli, we started that Brahma vidapnoti param, and then Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, and then Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. So Brahmavid Apnoti Param is the Sutra Vakya. And thereafter, this Sutra Vakya was further substantiated by the mantra, that is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. So what is the purpose of this second Valli? To discover the truth as one's own essential nature. That is the purpose. Sasmartavyaha, that should not be forgotten. And therefore, प्रकृतः हि अन्या विवक्षितस्य अर्थस्य वाक्यस्य अर्थः अस्ति सस्मर्तव्यः इति तद विज्ञानाच्च विवक्षितम प्रकृतम च तद. So if that is achieved, then we have understood the meaning of the sentence. So our interpretation should be such that by analyzing the sentence, we should be able to reach the reality in a proper manner. And this is what is achieved. And to tell that this is what you have achieved, Shruti Mata has said, Tadevanu Pravishat iti. How? Brahma Swarupa Anugamaya cha Akashadi Annamayantam Karyam Pradarshitam Brahma Anugamascha Arabdaha. So, when it was said, Anugamaya cha Akashadi Annamayantam Karyam Pradarshitam, to make this Brahman realize, the Brahman be recognized by the seeker as his own essential nature, the Shruti Mata started. What started? Akashadi Annamayantam Karyam Pradarshitam. It was very clearly demonstrated, Tasmad va etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhutaha. And in this manner, this Brahma is the cause of the total world, starting from Akasha up to Annamaya Kosh. Thereafter, Karya Pradarshitam. Brahma Anugamascha Arabdha. Now after having told this, then what was the next topic? Next topic was to make the student realize where this Brahman is. Brahma Anugama, to follow where the Brahman is, to reach the reality. That was the topic. So for this purpose, this second Valli is meant. So every statement of the second Valli will be correctly interpreted if this is achieved. If this is not achieved, all our intelligence applied for the interpretation of the statement will be wrong. It will be useless. Therefore, Brahma Swarupa Anugamaya, to make this reality cognizable by the seeker, Akashadi Annamayantam Karyam Pradarshitam. First it was told that this whole world is the effect. Then Brahma Anugamascha Arabdaha. And now, to reveal that reality, the topic began. Tatra. Now how this topic was developed? Tatra Annamayad Atmanaha Anyontara Atma Pranamayaha Tadantar Manomayaha Tadantar Vijnanamayaha Iti Vijnana Guhayam Praveshitaha. So what the scripture, the Shruti Mata has done, the student is slowly taken, one by step by step. So first, the attention was brought to the Annamaya Kosh. So tasya idam shiraha, ayam dakshina pakshaha, ayam uttara pakshaha. And in this manner, having brought the attention on the Annamaya Atma, then it was said, Anyontara Atma Pranamayaha. So when the student entered the Pranamaya, or focus his attention on the Pranamaya, focusing attention on the Pranamaya is entry of the self in the Pranamaya. Thereafter, Anyontara Atma Manomayaha. Then the student's attention was brought on the Manomaya Atma. And after that, Anyontara Atma Vijnanamaya. Then the attention of the student was brought to the Vijnanamaya. And what is the head of the Vijnanamaya? Shraddha eva asya shiraha. And all this has to be accepted on the foundation of the Shraddha, the faith. And in this manner, Vijnanamaya iti Vijnana guhayam praveshitaha. Now after having entered the Vijnanamaya guha, then tatra cha anandamayo vishishta atma pradarshitaha. Now having entered the Vijnanamaya, then the Anandamaya Atma was shown. And what is this Anandamaya Atma? Anandamaya Atma is that Priya Shiraha, Moda Dakshina Pakshaha, Pramoda Uttara Pakshaha, Ananda Atma and Brahma Pucham Pradishtha. So this Ananda which is experienced by us in different grades, this Ananda in different grades is originally the expression of the Brahman, because Brahma Pucham Pradishtha. And in this manner the Brahma was indicated as the substratum of this Anandamaya Kosh. And in this manner the seeker has entered in such a manner that he reaches the reality. This is the meaning of Tadevanu Pravishata. Now see how beautiful it is brought out. Why we were feeling frustrated? Because Atma Brahman in one petri dish, and from that petri dish another colony of bacteria is created, and then it becomes the creation, and then you take the platinum loop and Tadevanu Pravishata, isn't it? And because of this habit of objectification, we miss the truth. On the contrary, here how systematically the truth is revealed. And therefore, it is said, Vijnanamaya iti Vijnana guhayam praveshitaha. So the Atma entered the Vijnana. Now when it is said, the Atma entered the Vijnanamaya Kosh, means what? This Jiva who was getting lost in this world, Sukhi Dukhi, his attention was brought away from the world on Annamaya Kosh, away from Annamaya Kosh on the Pranamaya Kosh, away from Pranamaya to Manomaya, away from Manomaya to Vijnanamaya. And after having come to the Vijnanamaya, from there it is shown, if you look outside, there is terrible. If you look within, there is joy. Yesterday I told you, Vijnanamaya is extrovert Anandamaya, and Anandamaya is introvert Vijnanamaya. It is one and the same thing. Therefore, Vijnanamaya is a Kartrutva Abhimani, wanting to achieve and get happiness, and Anandamaya is a Bhoktrutva Abhimani because he has already achieved happiness. So when the Vijnanamaya fulfills his desire, what happens? That particular moment he is no more extrovert because the desire is fulfilled. And absence of the extrovertedness is itself called as introvertedness. And in this manner, this Atma having entered the Vijnanamaya Kosh, from there the Shruti Mata shows, wo dekho, wo hai Anandamaya. And in that Anandamaya, do you see the head? Priya Tasya Shiraha, then Modo Dakshina Pakshaha, Pramoda Uttara Pakshaha, Ananda Atma. And this Ananda is a common because it is the Atma of these three modifications, the Moda, Pramoda and the Priya. And what is this Ananda? Where from the Ananda has come? Brahma Pucham Pradishtha. So this Ananda Atma is none other than the Brahman. In this manner, Tadevanu Srishtva Tadeva Anupravishata iti. देखो महाराज कितना आनंद है. अतः परमानंदय मय लिंग अधिगम द्वारेण आनंद विवृद्धि अवसान आत्मा ब्रह्मपुच्छम प्रतिष्ठा सर्व विकल्पास्पद निर्विकल्प अस्याम एव गुहायाम अधिगंतव्य इति तत्प्रवेशः प्रकल्प्यते. दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ एंट्री. अतः देयरफॉर परमानंदमय लिंग अधिगम द्वारेण. सो परमानंदमय लिंग, we know the different degrees of happiness. First is priya. When we darshana matrena, when we see somebody or something what we like, we are happy. Then labhat, when we get an object for enjoyment, moda. And when we get the object of enjoyment to our satisfaction, to our requirement, pramoda. And where from this moda, pramoda has come? Has it come from the object? Had it come from the object, the same object would have made everybody happy, but it doesn't. Therefore, what is the source of that happiness? The source of that happiness is Ananda Atma. So the same Atma, Ananda, is now modifying in its expression in different degrees. Now where from this Ananda of the Atma has come? Brahmapucham Pradishta. Now see how systematically, steadily. So, Paramanandamaya लिंग अधिगम द्वारेण आनंद विवृद्ध अवसान आत्मा. So this ananda which is vivruddhi avasana. So when this ananda is thus growing, so the topmost head is priya. Then dakshina paksha moda, vama paksha pramoda, ananda atma. So this is all increasing the degree of happiness. So in the head minimum happiness. Then in the right hand, moda, little more happiness. Left hand, still more happiness, pramoda. Madhya Pradesh, Ananda Atma, still more happiness. And this happiness is infinite in Brahmapucham Pradishta. In this manner, slowly and steadily, this Paramananda Linga Adhigamadvarena. This is how we are taken by the finger by the Shruti Mata and slowly and steadily taken and made to enter this world. This is the meaning of entry of the Atma in this world. Therefore, Atma Brahma Pucham Pratishtha Sarva Vikalpaspadaha Nirvikalpaha Asyam Eva Guhayam Adhigantavyaha. And this Nirvikalpa, this support of everything in this world, adhigantavyaha, has to be recognized. Where do we recognize? We recognize this reality, guhayam eva, only in one's own thoughts. Now see, the same thought we have seen in our Kenopanishad. Pratibodha viditam matam. Behind every knowledge, the truth is revealed. So, pratibodha. And in this manner, sarva vikalpaspadaha nirvikalpaha asyam eva guhayam adhigantavyaha iti tad praveshaha prakalpate. And to indicate this, it is said that as if the Atma has entered. So, nahi anyatra upalabhyate brahmaha nirvisheshatvat. Now, why we are insisting that the Brahman or the Atma to be recognized only in this manner? The reason is, Brahma nirvisheshatvad nahi anyatra upalabhyate. The Brahman being free from any attributes. We have seen Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, these are not the attributes. They are not the adjectives. They are the Lakshana, the Dharma. And therefore, if we have to tell that the sugar is sweet, now the sweetness is not the adjective of sugar. And therefore, what we will have to do to indicate what is the meaning of sweetness of the sugar, we will give that person black tea, very much boiled. Now take it. How it is? It is horrible. Very good. Now we are adding sugar into this. Now stir it. Now how it is? Now it is sweet. So where from the sweetness has come? Has it come from the tea itself? No, because you added sugar. Therefore, sweetness has come from the sugar. Very good. Now, what is added in the sugar to make the sugar sweet? Nothing. Because the sweetness is not an adjective of the sugar. Like the tea was bitter tea and sweet tea. In the same manner, there is nothing like any adjective, the sweet sugar and non-sweet sugar, no. And therefore, nahi anyatra upalabhyate Brahma nirvisheshatvat. The Brahma, the reality, is not available anywhere because nirvishesha, free from any specific qualities, attributes. And vishesha sambandha hi upalabdhi hetu drishtaha. Upalabdhi hetu, the cause of recognizing something, is vishishta sambandha, some kind of relationship. Unless we are able to indicate something which is known, and from the known, the unknown is indicated. When we see any person for the first time, and then we are introduced, or that person introduces himself because he is Sachetan. So how will he introduce? He will not introduce, I am 6 feet 8 inches tall, and then I am 250 pounds. Thereafter, I tried my best, but I could not pass matriculation. This is what he will talk to us. Now in this, what he is doing, he is only describing himself. That will not interest us. That I can see. You don't have to tell me. Who are you? Then he will say, do you know Mr. Varmaji? Yes. I am his brother-in-law. So this person is now related to Varmaji. So from the known or with reference to the known, we reach the unknown. And the same manner, vishesha sambandha hi upalabdhi hetu drishtaha. So we have to establish some relationship. Yatha, example is given, Raho Chandra Arka Vishishta Sambandha. This Graha Rahu, which does not have the body, only head, and this Graha Rahu is not seen by any eyes, but it is accepted as present according to the Jyotisha Shastra. Then how this Rahu Graha is determined? According to the position of the sun and the moon. So with reference to the position of the sun and the moon, the Rahu Graha is placed in our Kundali. In this manner, Rahos Chandrarka Vishishta Sambandha. In the same manner. Now, where is the relationship between Brahman and anything else which is known to us so that we can discover the Brahman? So here it is said, Evam Antakarana Guha Atma Sambandha Brahmanaha Upalabdhi Hetuhu. So Upalabdhi Hetuhu, the cause for availability of the Brahman, is Antakarana, Guha and the Atma. So therefore we are told, now if we want to see the truth, discard everything. So we give up attention in the gross world, then Annamaya Kosh, then Pranamaya Kosh, then Manomaya Kosh, and then now we are focusing attention on the Vijnanamaya Kosh. Now in Vijnanamaya Kosh, what is the speciality in relation to other koshas? That in Annamaya Kosh there is no Chetana Abhivyakti directly. In Pranamaya Kosh it is inertness. In Vijnanamaya Kosh it is Vritti Jnanam, where Sukha Dukkha only is experienced. It is only in the Vijnanamaya Kosh when we come, there is Chidabhasa Abhivyakti, manifestation of the Kutastha in the form of Chidabhasa, and then only Vyaktitva takes place. So who is doing the sadhana and inquiry? Not Annamaya Kosh, not Manomaya Kosh or Pranamaya Kosh, but it is the Vijnanamaya Kosh who is doing sadhana. Now this Vijnanamaya Kosh is told, Nihitam Guhayam. This Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva is hidden behind the thoughts. So when this Vijnanamaya Kosh is thus quietening all the thoughts, meaning removing the covering of the thoughts. When all the thoughts are dropped, what happens? That Ananda Atma, everything is discarded, and in the absence of all plurality created through the agency of the thoughts, vritti jnanam is given up. Therefore, that knowledge which is free from the limitations of vritti jnanam is called as Ananda Atma. And in this manner, when this Vijnanamaya is able to slowly and steadily come to the point of this Samadhana. So what were the parts of this Vijnanamaya? Vijnanamaya was told as Shraddha is the head. Shraddha is the head. Then Rutam Dakshina Pakshaha. The authority of the scripture is the right hand or the wing. Satyam Uttara Pakshaha. Then manifestation of the scriptural authority in our daily life in and through is the left wing. And Yoga Atma. What was Yoga? Yoga is Samadhanam. So when by our lifestyle we attain a natural quietness, Samadhana, then in that natural quietness alone we are able to experience the Priya Eva Shiraha, Modo Dakshina Pakshaha, Pramoda Uttara Pakshaha. And where from these three variations have come? Ananda Atma, from within. It has not come from outside. And from within. Where from within? Because the foundation is the same Brahman. And in this manner, slowly and steadily, the student is taken from the external to the source of all the joy. So, evam antakarana guha atma sambandaha brahmanaha upalabdhi hetu. And therefore, the student is asked to focus attention on these Vijnanamaya Kosh, thereafter Anandamaya Kosh, and from the Anandamaya Kosh, the Atma Ananda, and from there Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. Now, why only in Antakaran? Because Sannikarshat Avabhasat Makatvacha Antakaranasya. Because this Antakarana Vijnanamaya Kosh is nearest to the Anandamaya Kosh. And second thing is Avabhasakatvacha. And the Vijnanamaya Kosh is the only place where the supreme reality can manifest as light of consciousness. So, Vijnanamaya Kosh makes a distinct differentiation between the earlier three koshas and the Vijnanamaya. In earlier three koshas, the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, there is no manifestation of life or consciousness. The consciousness starts appearing meaningful to create an individuality begins at the level of the Vijnanamaya. And therefore, Vijnanamaya is the place where Brahman is available. So, Sannikarshat Avabhasatmakatvacha Antakaranasya. Yesterday, if you remember, we were told in the Kriya Yoga, according to Bhakti Shastra, what is the Archana of the Lord. After we have seen the universal expression of the Lord, then we have taken the individual Vigraha of the Lord, how Bhagwan Narayana is having the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and what is the meaning of everything. And after all that was over, then what was the last statement? The Archana or the Puja of the Lord is our Antakarana Shuddhi. If our mind becomes purified, then only we have done the puja. Now see how basic thing we miss. For us, puja means the external things are done perfectly well, and in doing so there is a perfect disturbance within. If this is happening, we have not done the puja. Therefore, the real worship of the Lord is that our mind remains absolutely agitation free, prasanna and joyful. When this happens, then only we have really worshipped the Lord. Therefore, as I told you, so many people come and ask, Swamiji, what we should do for you? Oh, this is the only thing you can do for me. You remain happy. But what will you get by our remaining happy? You will not come and disturb me. That's more than enough. See, this is the highest understanding that our Taittiriya is giving us. Therefore, evam antakaranam अंतःकरण गुहा आत्म संबंध ब्रह्मण उपलब्धि हेतु सन्निकर्षाद अवभासात्मकत्वाच अंतःकरणस्य यथाच एग्जांपल इज गिवन यथाच आलोक विशिष्टा घटादि उपलब्धि ही एव बुद्धि प्रत्यय आलोक विशिष्ट आत्मोपलब्धि स्यात् तस्मात् उपलब्धि हेतु गुहायाम निहितम इति प्रकृतम एव. लाइक यथा इन द वर्ल्ड आलोक विशिष्टा घटादि उपलब्धि रेव. आलोक मीन्स द रिफ्लेक्टेड लाइट. सो ए पॉट which is bathing in the light, that pot alone can be seen. Suppose we go into a room and it is not properly lit and we are told, kindly get me the pot or the torch, and we go and we are not able to see because it is not properly lighted inside. Then we make some arrangements and more light is created. And after that light is bathing that particular object, then only upalabdhi. So the light has not created the object. The object was already available, but it was covered under the darkness. So what is done here? Yatha aloka vishishta ghatadi upalabdhi. In the same manner, buddhi pratyaya aloka vishishta atma upalabdhi syat. So the reality in the form of pure existence is available in Annamaya Kosh, but we are not able to cognize. Then the same reality is available in the Pranamaya Kosh also as existence plus dynamism, yet we are not able to recognize because there is no light, it is only inertness. Then we come to the mind. In the mind there is also existence, dynamism and also the knowledge. But that knowledge is the one which is not yet illumined by the light of consciousness. Therefore, there also, although the reality is present, it is not recognized. Then we come to Vijnanamaya Kosh. And when we come to Vijnanamaya Kosh, their existence as well as dynamism as well as knowledge, and this is now bathing in the light of consciousness, and therefore we are able to recognize the reality, the Brahman, in the Vijnanamaya Kosh. See how systematic it is. Every step has to be clearly understood. There is no shortcut. Yathacha aloka vishishta ghatadi upalabdhi evam बुद्धि प्रत्यय आलोक विशिष्टा आत्मोपलब्धि स्यात् तस्मात् उपलब्धि हेतु. And therefore, if we want to recognize Paramatma, if we want to have the vision of the Lord, so tasmat atma upalabdhi hetu guhayam nihitam iti prakrutam eva. And therefore it is said that the Paramatma is available in the guhayam, in the guha, in the intellect. Therefore, Brahma vidapnodi param tadeshabhyuktam satyam jnanam anantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam. This is the only place where the truth is available. Now when we are fully convinced of this is only a world knowledge we have gathered. When we are fully convinced of this fact, thereafter, will we ever ask a question, what sadhana we should do? If still the question comes in our mind, what sadhana we should do, please tell. So, what sadhana can be told? Take the broom in the hand and be the groom for the whole life. When it is clearly told that the Ganges are coming from the Himalayas, Gangotri, But then where should I go and find out? Go to the Godrej soap factory. There Ganga soap is available. When it is clearly told, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyomanna, this knowledge will naturally make us introvert. Even if it is Paroksha Jnanam, although we have not had experience, it has not become Aparoksha, but we have to be first convinced of this fact. And if we are still imagining to look out through the agency of the Jnanendriyas and the limitations of the Vritti, the truth we are ourselves pushing away. Our attempt will be an attempt wherein in the morning hours we want to run and step on our own head in the shadow. We may go on doing it till it is 12 o'clock. And when you are tired, since morning I have been running. Now doof ho gaye, let me try in the evening and sit quiet. The moment you sit quiet, your own head is below you. Yo nihitam guhayam parame vyomanna. So, tad vritti sthaniye tu iha punaha tasruštva tadeva anupravishad iti uchyate. To make us understand this fact, therefore it is said by the Shruti Mata, tasruštva tadeva anupravishata. This is the meaning. Therefore, the more we are able to appreciate the greatness of the scriptures, the Shruti Mata, nothing in this world, it is said by Bhagavan Shankaracharya in one of the places, putting millions of parents together, and what will be their concern for their own child? Much more than is the concern of Shruti Mata for the seeker. Because parents bind the children. Beta, shadi kar lo. But Shruti Mata gives us total freedom. And therefore, this tad vritti sthaniye tu iha punaha tasruštva tadevanu pravishad iti uchyate. Therefore, eva idam akashadi karanam, so that Paramatma alone, which is akashadi karanam, karyam sruštva, having created this effect, the world, tad anupravishtam iva antarguhayam buddhav. So again, it is now further elaborated. So tad eva idam akashadi karanam, this Brahman, which is the cause of this akasha, etc., karyam, which is karyam, the effect, sruštva, having created, tad anupravishtam iva, as if it has entered. Tad anupravishtam iva antarguhayam buddhav. Antarguhayam is in the buddhi, in the intellect. Having entered there, then what it has done? Drashtru, shrotru, mantru, vidnyatru, iti evam visheshavat upalabhyate. See, this is the another step in understanding. So when the truth is reflecting in the intellect, thereafter the reflected truth as the consciousness and this consciousness now expressing as aham idam vritti bheda, thereafter this aham vritti getting identified with the eyes becomes the seer. This enlivened aham vritti identified with the ears becomes the hearer. The same enlivened aham vritti identified with the mind becomes the feeler, and vidnyatru, and the same enlivened aham vritti becomes the knower when identified with the vijnanamaya kosh. Iti evam visheshavat upalabhyate. And thus this Brahman is now available for us for recognition
with some Visheshata, specificity. Because we cannot recognize anything without any specificity. So, sa eva tasya pravesha. This is the meaning of the entry of the Brahman in this world. So when the Brahman has entered, if it has entered, we are not able to see him anywhere, it is there. How? Hearer, smeller, taster, toucher. Meaning what? This reality, the Brahman, has to be recognized as who is the hearer, who is the smeller, who is the toucher, who is the thinker, who is the feeler. Meaning, who am I? Inquiry begins from here. Are the colors and forms the seer? No. Are the eyes the seer? No. Is the mind the seer? No. Is the Vijnanamaya the seer? I think. And then behind the seer, what is the reality? When the mind or the Vijnanamaya, when it is seeing through the eyes, and when the eyes are no more operating, do you think the seer has died? No. He is still there. So there is some principle which is expressing through the conditionings as seer, smeller, taster, etc. And when these conditionings are discarded, that which was expressing through the conditionings as drashtu, shrotru, mantru, he continues to exist in spite of the absence of the conditionings, and thus Brahma asti eva. Therefore the truth is. So, sa eva tasya praveshaha tasman asti tat karanam Brahma. And therefore ataha astitvad astitva eva upalabdhavyam tat. This is the ultimate. We have seen in our Kathopanishad also. Asti iti upalabdhavyaha. Be very attentive. We are told that focus your attention on the pure existence. We failed. Because where the existence is not, everything is existing alone, including the absence. But who is recognizing this the existence? It is I. Now who is this I who is recognizing the existence? Then we come to Vijnanamaya Kosh. When we come to Vijnanamaya Kosh, where is this I? Then the Vijnanamaya Kosh is told this Anandamaya is the I. Then Ananda Atma. And then Brahma Pucham Pratishtita. And in this manner, this Paramatma has to be recognized as existence plus Atma Bhavena, that existence I am. And to make this is the only method, there is no other method available. And once we have recognized what is the meaning of this existence, which is our own essential self, from that standpoint, when we again look back through all these conditionings of Anandamaya, Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya and Annamaya, when we again look back, now the vision is totally different. Now what is the vision? Now the vision is Anandamaya is only one. It is not one per head. Then this I, the Anandamaya, is now expressing through all the Vijnanamayas. Now this I who is expressing through all the Vijnanamayas is the one expressing through the total mind, the total prana shakti and all the gross bodies. This will be the vision. When this vision takes place, as now, when I know I alone expressed through the eyes, I alone expressed through the ears, so I have more faith in my seeing and hearing, not on what others have seen and others have heard, because there is a difference. And when I discover this vision, then I come to know that through every eye, I alone see. Through every ear, I alone hear. Through every hunger, I alone get satisfaction. Through every emotion, I alone express. through every joy, it is I alone who is expressing. When this vision comes and we start living that vision, that is called as Jivan Mukti, that is called as realization. This is the way. Therefore, Saeva Tasya Praveshaha Tasmat Asti Tat Karanam Brahma. We have recognized the Brahman as consciousness, and the consciousness immediately creates a problem of consciousness versus inertness. So we have to discard the consciousness. If we discard the consciousness, we should not become inert. Then what is the way? This is the way. So consciousness gives us the knowledge of ahanta. And then this aham is the substratum of the totality. Then this is recognized. Then consciousness versus inertness disappears, and pure existence, which is supporting both the inertness and consciousness, that pure existence I am is the experience. And once this experience gets established, thereafter there is nothing like superior, inferior. There is nothing like drashta drishya bheda, yad drishyam tad jadam. Now the knowledge is yad drishyam tad jadam and yad drashta tad api jadam. Or yad drishtam tad chinmayam, and drashta, that also chinmayam. Both ways. Not halfway this, halfway that. In this manner, sa eva tasya praveshaha tasmad asti tat karanam brahma ataha astitvan astitva iti eva upalabdhavyam tad. Therefore, ultimate is that we have to recognize this reality not as consciousness. Please be conscious about it. The truth has to be recognized not as consciousness. We give undue importance to the consciousness. It is only upalabdhi dvara. We have to go beyond that. So, asti iti upalabdhavyam tat. Now, tat karyam anupravisha kim? Acha, okay, we agree, Baba. Tadeva anusrištva, tadeva anupravishada. Acha, आगे तो चलो. Isn't it? So, tat karyam anupravisha kim? फिर what happened? Satcha त्यच्चा भवत निरुक्तम चा निरुक्तम च निलयं चा निलयं च. Now that is explained. Sat cha murtam and tyaccha amurtam abhavat. Now having entered this creation, that Brahman became both Sat and Asat. What is the meaning of Sat? Sat means with form, and Asat means without form, subtle. So all that is gross and subtle is nothing but the same Brahman. So, Sat Murtam Tyaccha Amurtam Abhavat. Murta Murte hi avyakruta nama rupe atmaste antargatena atmana vyakriyate vyakrute murta murta shabda vache. So, this Paramatma, this Atma, Atmaste, the total world of names and forms, is contained within the reality, and when it is unmanifest, it is called a dissolution. When it is manifest, it is called as creation, and thus the same Paramatma became the manifest as well as the unmanifest. Now, in place of Paramatma, keep water. And in this water, now we create cause and effect. The cause is the ocean, the effect is the waves. So, the same water became unmanifest. What is the meaning of the same water became unmanifest? Water became ocean. But ocean is manifest. No, it is unmanifest. Why? It is unmanifest waves. Acha, ठीक है ना मजा? So the water became amurtam, unmanifest, the ocean, and also the manifest. So where from the waves have come in the ocean? They have come from the water. And in this manner, the same reality, now became or expressed as Satcha Murtam, Tyatcha Amurtam Abhavat. Tyat means Amurtam. Abhavat, manifest and unmanifest. मूर्तामूर्ते ही अव्याकृत नाम रूपे आत्मस्थे अंतर्गतेन आत्मना व्याक्रियेते. So, which are inherent names and forms in this Atma Tattva, by the Atma itself, Atmana eva vyakriyete. They are manifest as the manifestation. And what is manifestation therefore? What is the wave therefore? Wave is also the water. Unmanifest, ocean is also the water. So, manifestation and unmanifestation. Manifestation is effect, unmanifestation is cause. So, cause and effect, both of them are supported by water, which is neither the cause nor the effect. And in this manner, the truth alone is the reality, which is our essential self. In this way has to be recognized. So, Murta Murte hi avyakrita nama rupe atmasthe antargatena atmana vyakriyate vyakrute Murta Murta shabda vache. And therefore, this manifestation of the world is called as manifest and unmanifest. Te atmana tu apravibhakta deshakale iti krutva atma te abhavat iti uchyate. Now this total world of manifest and unmanifest, take the same example. The total world of ocean and the waves. Te apravibhakta deshakale iti krutva. Now where is this total world? It is in the time and space. And is the time and space apart from the reality? No. So, where is the world? The world is conditioned by the time and space, and time and space are nothing but the same reality. And therefore, iti krutva te abhavat iti uchyate. And therefore it is said, the names and the forms, the total manifest and unmanifest is nothing but the Atma alone. Therefore it is said like this. Like the unmanifest ocean and the manifest waves, both of them are nothing but the waters. Kincha, in addition to that, niruktancha, niruktancha. What is the niruktam? Niruktam nama nishkrusya samana asamana jatiyebhya deshakala vishishtataya idam tad iti yuktam aniruktam tad viparitam nirukta nirukte api murta murtayoho eva visheshane. Now what is the niruktam? Niruktam means niruktam nama nishkrusya samana asamana jatiyebhya deshakala vishishtataya idam. Anything which is defined clearly with reference to the desha and the kala, time and space, so that it can be separated out from the similar kind or the dissimilar kind. This is called as niruktam. Defining anything so that it can be separated from everything else of its own kind as well as other kind, with the criteria of the limitations of desha and the kala, time and the space. In this manner, anything which is defined is called as niruktam. What is niruktam therefore? Murtam. Only the manifest can be spoken of what it is. The unmanifest cannot be spoken of, therefore aniruktam cha. Therefore it is said, tad viparitam aniruktam. Therefore nirukta anirukte api murta amurta yoho visheshane. So the manifest is niruktam, because that alone can be spoken of distinctly and clearly, and the amurta unmanifest is aniruktam, cannot be defined. We can define the presence of an object. So define the table. So we will say the table has got 3.5 legs, and then it has got a top with a hole, and then it is risky to sit on that. All these things we can define. Then now define the absence of the table or describe the absence of the table. Now the moment we say absence or unmanifestation, it cannot be defined. And therefore, murta amurta satyat is further explained by these two words, niruktancha niruktancha. Tatha satcha tyaccha pratyaksha parokshe tatha nilayancha nilayancha. And just as sat means pratyaksha, Murta, manifest, can be directly seen by our sense organs. And Amurtam, it is Paroksha. It is beyond the grasp of our faculties, the means of knowledge. In the same manner, Nilayanam and Anilayanam cha. What is Nilayanam? Nilayanam is Nidam Ashrayaha Murtasya Iva Dharma. So, anything which is with the form, that form becomes the house where the manifest is living. And Amurta is that which does not have form, therefore it does not have a house. So, Paramatma is living in the house of names and forms. And therefore, if you want to see Paramatma in every name and form, the truth is residing. And if we are told the truth is residing also in the unmanifest form, then we will not be able to cognize. And therefore, it is said, first recognize the truth in the form of any form, then recognize the truth in the form of the absence of the form, and then come to a conclusion that presence or the absence of the forms do not contradict the substratum. Whether you see the ocean and then understand the water, or you see the wave, then understand the water, or you see the water and understand the water. It makes no difference unless you are thirsty or want to commit suicide. So, yatha satcha tyachcha pratyaksha parokshe tatha, just as sat and the tyach is immediate and the indirect, tatha nilayanam anilayanam cha. Nilayanam nidam ashrayaha murtasya eva dharmaha anilayam tad viparitam amurtasya eva dharmaha. So nilayanam is the presence of the reality with the support of a form, nilayanam, and anilayanam, even the absence is supported by the same reality. Tyat aniruktam anilayanani amurta dharmatvepi vyakruta vishayani eva. Now here this particular paragraph is very, very subtle for understanding. What is said? Tyat, anirukta and anilayan. They are the dharma of the amurta. Just now we have seen. Now although they are the dharma of the amurta, dharmatveyapi vyakruta vishayani eva, but they are talking about the manifest alone. How they are talking about the manifest alone? Because paroksha tyat, indirect, aniruktam, that which cannot be spoken of, and anilayanam, which does not have any house. These are the qualities dharma of the amurta, unmanifest. Now this unmanifest becomes meaningful with reference to the manifest alone. Unmanifest has a meaning with reference to manifest alone, and therefore they are indirectly referring to the qualities of the manifest alone. Therefore, sargottara kala bhava shravanat. When we talk about the sat, when we talk about the nirukta, when we talk about nilayanam, only after creation. And therefore, the tyat, unmanifest, has a meaning with reference to sat, the manifest. The aniruktam, unexplainable, has a meaning with reference to something which is explained, defined. And so also the anilayanam, without any house to live in, has a meaning only with reference to when there is a house for living. And in this manner, tyat anirukta anilayanani amurta dharmatve api vyakruta vishayani eva. And yet they are defining and talking about the manifest world, because sargottara kala bhava shravanat, only after the manifestation, the creation, these have become manifest. So be very attentive. Therefore, paroksha became manifest after the manifestation of the pratyaksha. Then anirukta became manifest after the manifestation of the nirukta. And anilayanam became manifest after the manifestation of the nilayanam. Now if you change the words in English, the direct became meaningful only, the indirect became meaningful only after the presence of the direct. Then the unexplainable became meaningful when something can be explained. And then the without any alaya, without any home, became meaningful only after the home came into existence. During the cave age, when all the human beings were living on the trees and caves, etc., there was never that ego. My house is in Bandra, where all the monkeys stay, and my house is in Dhobitala, where all the dhobis stay. No. There is no, because when there is no house, there is no problem of somebody staying in a rich house and other person staying without house. And therefore, vyakrutani vishayani eva tad iti pranadi aniruktam tad eva anilayancha ataha visheshanani amurtasya vyakruta vishayani eva etani. And therefore, although all these aniruktam, anilayanam and tyak, although these are talking about the unmanifest, but in fact they are talking about the manifest world alone. Vijnanam cha vijnanam cha. So what is vijnanam? Vijnanam chetanam. Avijnanam tadrahitam acetanam pashanadi. So take the original mantra, what it is said here. Tadevanupravishata, and thereafter having entered. Then what happened after having entered? Tadanu pravisha satcha tyacha bhavata. It became both manifest, unmanifest. The water became unmanifest, the ocean, and manifest, the waves. Then satcha tyacha bhavata niruktancha niruktancha. That which can be defined, that which cannot be defined. And nilayanancha nilayanancha. That also became the housed and without house. And now vijnanancha vijnanancha. So what is vijnanam? Chetanam. Avijnanam tadrahitam acetanam pashanadi. Satyam cha vyavahara vishaya adhikarat na paramartha satyam. So that satya alone became, that is satyam is the gross, manifest. So the same reality became the chetana and achetana. Now see the importance of this. We recognize ourselves to be chetana, the consciousness. And what is the truth? The truth is both vyaptam yena characharam. So tatpadam darshitam yena. We being conscious, we imagine that consciousness alone is the reality. Then what about the inertness? Inertness is also the same reality. Discovery of the truth in the drishya is bhakti marga, and discovery of the essential nature of the self as consciousness is jnana marga. And both these paths are not contradicting each other. But initially we are not able to discover the truth as existence because we are too much preoccupied with the names and the forms. So as long as we are preoccupied with the names and the forms, although the truth is coming and standing in front of us, we will not be able to recognize. This is the problem in the outer world. Therefore, bhakti. In every name and form, Bhagwan alone is. So we start doing that bhavana. And when this bhavana becomes stronger and stronger, then the names and form differences become secondary because we do not know in which form the Lord will come to us. In this manner, Bhakti Shastra teaches us to disregard the differences on account of the names and the forms and reach the substratum called as our Bhagwan. And what the Jnana Marga tells, discard the differences on account of the thoughts. Discard the differences on account of the experiences and come to the substratum, that which is supporting all the differences at the level of the mind, at the level of the intellect, and when all the thought differences totally are stand still, then asya priyameva shiraha, modo dakshina pakshaha, pramoda uttara pakshaha, ananda atma. When this is possible, when Vijnanamaya Kosh has become totally stand still. Now, to make this Vijnanamaya Kosh totally free from all agitation is Yoga Abhyas. Chitta Vritti Nirodha Yoga. But don't stop there. Now go further. What is that? When this Yoga Atma, by Yoga Abhyas we have attained Samadhanam, thereafter, now look within. Now what is your experience? My experience is that it is undifferentiated existence. And if our attention is on this conscious principle, after suspending all the thought processes, then only we can reach Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. And if we are very happy, see, I did meditation and there was not a single thought, only little difference and difficulty. What was that? When I got up, somebody has put a blanket on me. Because God came and found my devotee was trying to meditate in the temple. I thought he may get some mosquitoes or some cold, so let me put a blanket. God, you are really great. Then we are nowhere near the truth. That is why Chitta Vritti Nirodha is essential. But we must not get carried away by that alone. It is not all. We have to go still further. So, Vijnanam cha avidnanam cha tadrahitam achetanam pashanadi satyam vyavahara vishayam adhikarat na paramartha satyam. So, ekam evahi paramartha satyam Brahma. So, the paramartha satya Brahma is only one. There, chetana achetana, this bheda is not there. There the difference on account of the consciousness, inertness, the drashta, drushya, the experiencer and the experienced. Our Swamiji used to say like this. So experiencer, experienced, bhokta, bhogya, difference is totally zero. So ekameva hi paramartha satyam brahma iha punaha vyavahara vishayam apekshikam satyam. But in this particular context, the satya what we are talking about is vyavahara apekshikam with reference to the manifest unmanifest. Therefore the word satya should not be mistaken in this particular context as the paramartha satya. Only apekshikam, the sapekshikam, the relative reality. And what is that? Example. Mruga trishnikadi andruta apekshaya udakadi satyam uchyate. In comparison to the original water, the mirage waters are considered as mithya or not real. So mirage waters are not real, then the water is real. So this is in comparison to two waters, because this is vyavaharik satya. So in this world of duality or dvandva, the manifest unmanifest is called as the satya and asatya. But both satya and asatya is the paramartha satyam, which is one without a second, which is referred here as Brahma. So satyam uchyate anrutam cha tad viparitam. So satyam cha anrutam cha. So satyam means the manifest and anrutam means the unmanifest, non-existent. So kim punaha etat sarvam abhavat satyam paramartha satyam. Now here the meaning of the satyam is paramartha satyam. So this paramartha satya alone became the total manifest and the unmanifest. Kim punaha tat brahma satyam jnanam anantam brahma iti prakrutatvat. Because this is the topic we are talking about. So that one satya which was spoken of as satyam jnanam anantam brahma, that one brahma alone is everything in this world, good or bad, and like that. Yasmat सच्चेदादिकम मूर्तामूर्तम धर्मजातम यत्किंचित इदम सर्वम अविशिष्टम विकार जातम एकमेवं सत्शब्दवाच्यम ब्रह्म अभवत तद व्यतिरेकेण अभावाद नाम रूप विकारस्य तस्मात् तद ब्रह्म सत्यमिति आचक्षते ब्रह्मविदः. Because this one Brahman which is alone expressing as the manifest unmanifest, the immediate as well as the indirect, yadidam kincha idam, whatever significant insignificant, sarvam avishishtam vikara jatam, all non-specific modifications that can be thought of, Sat Sabdavacham, they are all nothing but the same reality, and therefore Brahma Abhava Tad Vyatirekena Abhava. Without the Brahman, nothing can exist, and therefore Tasmad Tad Brahma Satyam iti achakshate Brahmavidaha, and therefore the Brahmavid Purush, the wise people call this Sat, which is supporting everything as the reality. And thus अस्ति नास्ति इति अनुप्रश्नः प्रकृतस्य प्रतिवचन विषय एतद् उक्तम आत्मकामयत बहुस्याम इति. And thus here this now conclusion we are coming. Therefore the athanu prashnaha, in that the main question, the first question was whether the reality is or is not. So in all this, what is the purpose was to prove this, that the reality is. Second, the reality is to be recognized as our own essential nature. To make us this understand, the Shruti Mata says, Tadeva anusruštva tadeva anupravishya. So having created this will, anupravishat, he entered. Now what is the meaning of the entry? Recognizing this reality as one's own essential self. Toward the end of this commentary, Bhagavan will summarize the total thought, and then we will enter the Saptam Anuvak. Now we conclude here today's talk. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.